Hi guys, in this video I'm just going to show you how to remove and replace the cutter from your key cutting machine. So the first thing I've done, I've taken the machine out of the Perspex case there, and then it's important that you make sure you've removed it from the power as well. Next we have to take off the cover of the machine. So there's just a few screws that are holding it in. Don't take them all the way out, they can just loosen up and then the top's going to slide off, no problem. A couple on this side here as well. So just loosen those up like that. It also helps, you don't have to do this, but it's just a little bit easier by taking that handle off as well. You just lift the lid up and carefully slide it off. You just have to sort of pull it over this little lever here at the front as well. There. Okay, so that's the cutter there. So that's the cutter that we'll remove. That's the buffer, and we'll do that separately in another video. But right now we're just going to look at replacing the cutter. So I've got a 3/4 inch spanner there, and I'll just use an adjustable crescent here for this. So you're putting it on this inside part here. Don't put it there, otherwise that will loosen up the buffer. So it's just on that shaft there. Now I'm going to, it's a reverse thread on this. So you sort of go against what you would normally do. So I'm lifting that there to loosen it. They can be quite tight because with a reverse thread, as it's spinning and doing its work, it's naturally tightening. So you might find it needs a little bit of force to take it off. So I'll remove that. Again, it feels odd because it's reverse thread, but we'll flick that off. Put the nut there, and then there's a washer here as well. Take that washer off, and then the cutter. Simply slides out there as well. Now this cutter's got it's had some good use, and you'll see some of the teeth there are missing. And that's just fine. This still cuts keys, no problem at all. So in a real example, this wouldn't need to be replaced. You would need to replace it if you find that there's 5 or 6, half a dozen or so teeth next to each other that are broken like that. And the other way that you'll know as well, I mean, you'll get some good life out of a cutter, but if the key cutting is very, very noisy, a lot noisier than normal, that can also indicate that the cutter needs to be replaced. But that's just fine. So now it's simply a matter of reversing the process. So here we have just I won't take that off, and there's no need to, but just a point there that there is a small washer there as well. So just make sure that stays on. It's a little bit fiddly getting it on, but we've got it there. Make sure we put the washer on. Then we've got the nut, reverse thread. Pretty easy to be caught out on that. Now all you need to do here, because it self-tightens, is to tighten it up finger tight. Okay, so you don't need, doesn't matter if you do give it a little tighten with that, but finger tight is really all it needs. So you can see that that's sitting there just fine, and it's as simple as that. Replace. Okay, so now we pop the lid back on. You're a little bit fiddly, you've got to make sure that this front part comes over that little lever down there, but you can see it can go on quite straightforward really. Tighten these up. That one there, one at the front, a couple over this side. And we're all done. So you can see it's a pretty simple process. Just put the handle back on the front there as well. Doesn't take long at all, nice and easy to do. And then the next thing, of course, you put it back into the Perspex cover, plug her in, she's ready to go.